telling us more about every other necessary things that we need to know about the school, the boarding school, the environment, the accommodation, the tuition, and every unnecessary things that we might want to be enlightened on. However, if you have any question while the presentation is going on, I will enjoin us to please put it in the chat box. At the end of the presentation, we will be able to take up these questions and then she will answer them. She will be able to attend to them. So, Victoria, please, you can start.
Okay, I'll just share my, I think you need to share the screen with me, sorry.
Okay, I'll do just that. I think it's enabled now.
Let's try it now. There we are, that's it. Okay. So it does need to go in from the very beginning. I can't get rid of that from, I can't see the icons because the screen sharing thing is blocking it. So I just need to, so I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment and then I'm going to start it again. Hold on.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know why I can't see the actual PowerPoint instructions because they're being blocked by the other bit. Let me try it again.
Okay.
From current slide. That's it. Great.
Okay.
Okay, you can see it now, can you?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So good evening, everybody. It's very nice to be invited here to meet you all this evening with Nubi. As you can see, Moreton Hall is a campus school in the countryside. So everything is located on this campus, which is about 10 minutes drive from the nearest town. So it's a very safe rural location. We're in an area called Shropshire, which is about 1 hour from Manchester Airport. And our nearest town is a town called Oswestry. And then we're about 25 minutes away from Shrewsbury and Chester. We have our own school drivers who will collect students from the airport. So they can either fly into Manchester, but if they prefer to fly into Heathrow, we'll send our school drivers to collect them from there as well. So we have a prep school which goes up to the age of 13, which is co-educational. So boys and girls from 3 to 13, and we do take boarders from the age of 8. And then when the students move into our senior school at 13, we become a girls only boarding school. We have about 270 girls in the senior school. 150 of those girls are full boarders, and around 80% of our students are British students. The other 20% come from Asian countries. We have around 4 or 5 girls from Nigeria, a couple of students from Ghana, and then European students, Ukrainian students, South American students. So a nice mixture of girls from different countries. We follow a 2-year GCSE program in year 10, and then we follow a 2-year A-level program in year 12. We don't do IB. And students who want to apply to us can apply at any point in the year. We don't have a cutoff date for application. And then the entry is via entrance tests in English and another test, which is a chem test, which is like an IQ type test. And then students applying for A-level will sit an entrance exam in 1 or 2 of their A-level subjects, as well as the chem test. And then all the students will have a Zoom interview with me or with the principal. If students are joining in year groups below year 10, they can come at any time of year. So if you make your mind up sort of in January and you want to send them then, you don't need to wait until the following September. But obviously, if they're coming into year 10 to start GCSEs or into year 12 to start A-levels, then they do need to come in September. If you just want to send them for a taster course, they can come for half a term or even as little as 1 month if they would like to try it. We take quite a wide range of abilities into the school, but we do get very, very good A-level results and GCSE results, as you can see here. We don't focus just on academics when we're testing students for the school. We'll look at the whole child. So if they've got strong interest in drama or in music, we'll consider those as well. We know that we can usually get all the students through the GCSE, through the A-level results. So even if they start off in the school, and I'm going to talk a bit more about that in a minute, even if they don't start off a very high level, they will usually end up with good A-level or GCSE results. And these were our GCSE results in 2022. So 23% got grade 9, which is the highest grade because the grading system has changed. So grade 9 is the equivalent of an A star, 50% 9 to 7. So you might ask, why choose a girls' school? Although I know that in Nigeria, girls' schools are quite well known and are quite popular. So you'll probably know that girls statistically do better academically if they go to single-sex schools, and more girls will choose things like STEM subjects, further maths, and we certainly notice that in our school. I think it takes away the stereotypes and the sort of gender-weighted expectations. The girls don't think that there's anything such as a girl's subject or a boy's subject. So, you know, I think STEM subjects in our school are very popular. And I think an above average number of girls do go on to study things like biomedical science at university as well. I mentioned this very, very briefly a minute ago. So a lot of schools will use a test which is conducted by Durham University. And this tests the students when they first join the school. And then it will measure their progress as they go throughout the school. So value added means that the student will end up doing better than when they originally joined the school and were tested. And that's generally a measure of good teaching and good support, because the top ranking schools will always choose the top students. So those students will not show the same measure of improvement as students of, you know, perhaps lower levels or mixed levels who outperform what they were predicted to do when they were 11 years old. So our school has always ranked very, very highly for value added. I'm just going to show you the little bit of information about the boarding houses. So in the sixth form houses, all the students live in, well, primarily twin rooms. There are a few single rooms, but mostly twin ensuite study bedrooms. There's a year 12 boarding house and a separate year 13 boarding house. They all have common rooms and kitchens where the girls can prepare snacks if they want to. They can do all their revision, their homework in their bedrooms if they want to, but if they prefer to go and work in the library, they can do that as well. And then in year 11, the girls are all in single study bedrooms, and they have a very nice cozy common room where they tend to congregate in the evenings. In year 10, the girls are in mixed dorms of between 2 and 4 bedded rooms. They're all en suite, actually. They're all in the old part of the building, so the rooms are all different shapes and sizes. And the same with our year 9 boarding house as well. They're usually between 2 and 4 beds and all different shapes and sizes. They're all very cozy, have nice common rooms. In the evenings, they tend to sit and watch a film, perhaps if they finish their homework, and have a bit of downtime before they go to bed. They have a house mistress. Each boarding house has a house mistress, a house assistant, and a matron looking after the girls. If there are any problems with anybody's health, we do have a health centre on the school site, so the girls can go and see the school nurse, and if required, they will call the doctor to come to school to see them as well. So their health is taken very, very seriously. The girls all wear this uniform up to the end of year 11, and then in year 12, they can wear their own smart suit for lessons. This is the Stables junior boarding house where the girls will live in the prep school and up to the end of year 8. So this dorm is actually for the little ones, so it has about between 4 and 6 beds in it. By year 8, they've probably got between 2 and 4 beds in a room. I mentioned before that STEM subjects are very important in our school. This is our biomedical science faculty, which was built a few years ago. was one of the first to be built within a UK boarding school. So it's fantastic for preparing girls who are thinking about applying for medicine or dentistry or any biomedical science courses. We have a very structured program which prepares girls to enter those courses at university. The girls can enter for a range of different competitions while they're at school. So these are girls who entered the Maths Challenge, but there's also things like physics and chemistry Olympiads. So it's a great experience for them to take part in these competitions against other schools. 90% will get into their first choice of university, and normally up to 10% each year get into Oxford or Cambridge. The majority of the girls do go to Russell Group universities, and these are some of the universities that have been popular with our girls over the last couple of years. They don't all have to be budding scientists. There are other subjects that are equally important. Art is a very popular subject in our school. We have girls who can do, they have the choice of doing history of art, art and design, textiles and photography for GCSE and A level. And a good number of girls will go on afterwards perhaps to study things like architecture or to do foundation courses, to do art degrees at top London art colleges. For the students who are applying to the top universities, it's really important for them to have a very structured program in place. And we have Oxford tutors who work with them for the 2-year process, helping them with interview practice, enriching their knowledge beyond the curriculum. Specifically, if they're applying for things like medicine, we can help them with work experience as well, which is really important. And take them to visit universities. There are lecturers who come to school to do seminars with them. And we have these enrichment societies, for example, the Jenner Medical Society. So they would get the chance to visit a local hospital. The local medics will come to our school as well. So it's really important not just to focus on the A-level program, but to be stretched beyond the A-level curriculum, especially for those very competitive courses like medicine and veterinary science. Drama is something which is very, very important to the students at our school. They can study it as an academic subject if they want to for GCSE or A-level, but a lot of the girls will just choose it as an extracurricular activity and take part in the drama performances that they do every term. So they've just done productions of The Lion King last term, and they're working on another musical this term. So it's great for students who like singing or dancing or acting. There's always a lot of things that they can take part in. And the other thing I think worth mentioning is that they do something called Moreton Enterprises, and they run their own businesses on the school site. It's primarily run by the girls in year 12, but the younger girls do get the opportunity to join in as well. So they have some little shops on the school site, which they open every day. They buy the stock. They're in charge of monitoring the the profit. They think about new products. They enter competitions where they can design new products. So it gives them a real taste of what it's like to run your own business and to be innovative. And again, I think this is something really important because it's a girls only school. All of the girls have the opportunity to become leaders. So all of the girls have the roles like managing director, the manager of the bank, all those kind of things. So not only do they learn how to take on responsibility, but also to take risks. And a good number of our students who leave school do end up running their own businesses and becoming self-employed. So I think this is a really good stepping stone for them. These are the buildings. So they have one shop that they sell coffee and smoothies and have a tuck shop. So the children and the older students can go and buy their tuck at lunchtime or at the end of the day and at the weekend if they want to. As our school is in the countryside, there are no other shops really within walking distance. So it's quite nice to have a little selection of shops on the school site. If they run out of toothpaste, they can go to the shop and buy some. Sport is obviously very important in all boarding schools. Lacrosse is the sport that they play at our school. It doesn't matter when they join the school, whether it's in year 3 or year 5 or year 7 or year 9, they'll all get the opportunity to try new sports, and we encourage them to, throw themselves into as many new activities as they can do. If they want to do things like horse riding, they can sign up to do that every week. We also have a golf course on the school site, so they can have golf lessons. Tennis is very popular. We have an indoor 25-meter swimming pool, so they can have regular swimming sessions. This is our 9-hole golf course. And then we have a big indoor sports hall where they can do things like badminton and volleyball and table tennis and a wide range of other sports. There's a big activity program every evening in the week, so they have to sign up to do a certain number of activities. And then also at the weekend, there's a wide range of activities. They do lessons on Saturday mornings, actually, but then Saturday afternoon, if they're playing in a team, they might be going to play a match against another school or doing an activity on the school site. And then we tend to arrange a trip on Sundays, which they can sign up to go on. Oludunni is one of our students who is from Nigeria, who joined us last year in year 12. It's very unusual for a student to become a prefect, never mind deputy head girl if they've joined the school so late. But Oludunni has thrown herself into school life amazingly well. She's joined in so many activities. She's done things like the Rylands diploma, which has life skills for year 12 girls, things like managing your finances. She was the manager of Moreton Enterprises last year. She's taken part in the Jenner Society because she's wanting to study biomedical science at university. So I think it doesn't matter at what point they join the school, they still have the opportunity to throw themselves into the extracurricular life of the school and the academic life of the school, of course. And Oludunni is the girl in the middle. And then this year we have a student from the Nubi office who has joined us in lower 6, and she's very interested in drama. So she's been taking part in the drama production. She's a good singer, so she sings in the choir. And I will share the video that I've just recorded with her, with Nubi, and I'll get them to send it to you because it wasn't quite, they hadn't quite finished editing it today. I'm sorry, so I'm not able to show it to you today, but I'll make sure that you get a copy of it so you can see the interviews with these students. And even the sixth form girls, they still manage to have a lot of fun. They're quite young, the girls in our school, I think because there are no boys and because we're in the countryside, we're not a highly sophisticated school, and that's how we like it. We like to keep them quite young. We don't want them to be too old for their age. So I think it's quite nice that they still know how to have fun even when they're 17 or 18. And I think the parents like that as well, actually. Certainly for me as a parent, I didn't want my children to grow up too quickly. And I'll leave you with this quote from the Good Schools Guide. Finally, we feel that every girl in England should have a term at this school. And we hope that you perhaps will have the chance to send your daughters to spend some time at our school. I didn't mention before, I talked a little bit about the application process, but I didn't mention that we do also offer academic and music and art scholarships. So you can apply for a scholarship for your daughter if you're interested. And I think there was a question that just flashed up there, wasn't there? And I missed it, so I can't remember what it was, but
no, it's fine. I'll read it out to you. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Dr. Sote is asking, what is the percentage of full-time boarders for foreign students that can't go home on the weekend? Will there be people around on the weekend?
Yes, because all our students have lessons anyway on Saturdays, and we have 150 full boarders, and a lot of those are British students. So 95% of our sixth form girls are full boarders. Even if they live 5 miles down the road, they're still enrolled as full boarders. So there are always a lot of girls at school at the weekend and a lot of activities going on.
Okay, thank you for that. And so she's also asking, also for younger students, how do you help them settle in? Is there a process for this?
Sorry, could you just repeat the last part of that question? I missed it.
How do you help them settle in? These are the younger students. Is there a process for this?
Yeah, I think the boarding houses are not that large, so there are never large numbers of small, of younger students. The Stables boarding house is a really homely, cozy boarding house. The students who've been in the school for some time will be assigned to be a buddy for the new students. So there will always be somebody to look after the new arrivals. We had some new girls who started last week. We had a new Thai girl and a new Chinese girl who started last week. I went to talk to them after about 2 or 3 days, and you would have thought they had been there for 2 years. They were so settled, and they said that they'd been really looked after by the other girls in the class. So I think that even if somebody started in year 3, the children are always really pleased to see new students arriving. So I think the house mistress is instrumental in making sure that she's looking after, a young pupil, but also enrolling the other pupils of the same age to look after each other. And I think there is this ethos of kindness and caring about each other that does kind of pervade through our school. I think it is quite noticeable. And I think if anybody came to visit, the parents who do come and visit us do comment on that, how caring the children do seem. So I think that, with the younger children, as well, they've got things like they have guinea pigs in the boarding house. The house mistress has her puppy there. So all of these things contribute to it being quite a homely atmosphere, and it's decorated very nicely. So I think the welfare of the children is obviously paramount. And, we think if children are happy, then they will do well academically. Everything else follows on. The first thing is they have to be happy, because that's the crucial keystone of their success at school.
Yes, thank you for that. Mr. Ademola, you're unmuted. Do you want to ask a question? Do you want to ask Victoria any question, any area of concern that you're not clear about that you would love to ask?
All right. Do the kids have to go home at half term? We keep the school open in the half terms and the Easter holidays. We normally suggest if they're in lower than year 9 that they don't stay at school, because I think it's quite nice for the younger ones to have a break from school. But if they're in year 9 and above, they're very welcome to stay at school at half terms and exit weekends and Easter holidays.
Georgina, are you fine with that? She has answered your question. Do you have any more questions to Victoria so she can provide answers to that?
I have twins, but don't want them to become codependent.
How can pastoral staff help make sure they interacted well, like integrate?
I think what we would do is we wouldn't put them in the same dorms. We have had twins at school, and we normally mix them up. So we wouldn't put them to share a dorm together, because I think it's really important for them to make their own friends, isn't it? So that's the first thing I would say. Obviously, if they're in year 7 or 8, they're all studying the same subjects. They may be in the same classes, but when they get up to year 9, 10, 11, 12, they are choosing GCSE options. They may be choosing different subjects. They may be in different sets as well. So I think that's another way that they go in different directions. And I think it's a case of developing their own personal interests. A lot of children don't know what they really like doing when they come to school, but they try doing a lot of different things, and they realize what they really enjoy doing and what are their strengths. And I think that would be the case with twins as well, that they will develop their own interests, and they don't need to be spending every spare minute together. Obviously, I'm sure they will want to spend time together, and later on, if they do decide they want to share a room with each other, that's absolutely fine. But I think in the beginning, we would split them up and just, encourage them to make their own friendship groups. We have had a few sets of twins recently.
Okay, thank you for that. Regina, do you still have any questions you ask? has been good. Okay,
Yeah.
she said, thank you, Victoria. All the information has been good. It's good for them to be independent. Okay.
But I will send you the videos that I've just recorded with Amanda and my other student. I'll send you those next week. And then if you want, you can share them with the families, because I think it's quite nice to hear the voice of the students themselves. And I was a bit disappointed that they weren't quite ready to show you today. So hopefully those will be able, I'll be able to send those to you next week.
It's fine. We'll get it across to registered parents who are interested in boarding school. So definitely we should do that. And want to say a very big thank you to you, Victoria, for taking time out to meet with our parents today and enlighten them on Moreton Hall School. Thank you so very much. And
Well, thank you very much for inviting me.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure to be here tonight.
And thank you to Georgina Hadimola Temi. Thank you for participating. We will definitely follow up with you. I have imputed our email address in the chat box just in case you need to further reach out to us. We do have your contact, and then we will follow up with you. And then we will also, Victoria will share the recording of this meeting with parents that couldn't make the time out to be here, so that they can be enlightened from what you have said also concerning the scholarship, the boarding, availability. You know, you really took time to explain the unsuit, the twin unsuit, and every other necessary details about the boarding school, about the boarding section. So for parents who are not here present, we will definitely share the recording with them, and then they will be able to have access to that information, because most of them are actually concerned about the environment for the students.
Yeah, well, anybody is very welcome to, if they have more questions and they want to arrange a Zoom call with me directly, then anybody is more than welcome to arrange it as well.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I know you're absolute experts and you know a lot about the school, but if they just want to talk to somebody from the school, I'm very happy to talk to them.
For sure, we'll connect them with you anytime.
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you.